Do you guys have any bad habits you keep doing despite knowing that they're bad? Because I don't have any. I'm kidding. So, today we're going to talk about something that's been on my mind, and I've been really wanting to make this video. Pretty sure I mentioned it in another one. Not sure which. Might not have even published that one. Doesn't matter. But we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. So, these are some reasons why Mormons become liberals, like immediately after having left the church. It's absolutely not exclusive to Mormons. Like, tons of people who are from really oppressive religious backgrounds do this exact same thing. But I've noticed that it's definitely a pattern with the Mormons. So we're going to talk about it, okay? Okay, so the reasons that a lot of Mormons immediately go from having left the church to being a brain rot liberal, I'm just going to list them for you, and then I'm going to explicate on all of them. I don't want this to be a super long video. I always make you guys like 20+ minute videos, and I don't mean to do that every time. But anyway, okay, so the ones that I came up with are craving normalcy, intimidation, past trauma, indoctrination, lack of intellect, sexism, trading addictions. Okay? I believe I had more than that at one point, but it doesn't matter because this is enough for one video. So, Mormons really, really, really crave normalcy. They really badly, their whole lives, they're similar enough to be, to fit in, but there will always come a point when they don't fit in because of the cult that they're in. There will always come a point when they likely get made fun of, or even, honestly, worse than getting made fun of, like, say your friend is having a birthday party on Sunday. Maybe it's even like your best friend or something, and you desperately want to go. You're a kid, you're a young kid, you're under 10, and you're like, oh, I want to go to her party, and your parents are like, you can't go. And they're like, why not? And the parents are like, because Sunday is family day and we don't do jack shit on Sunday but hang out together, obviously. Anyway, that's not a reason, right? That's not a real reason to give a child. I mean, it is, but it's not a good one. That's a shit reason to deprive a child of socialization. That's a shit reason to deprive a child of experiences. That's, it just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. So yeah, kids really, okay. I also want to emphasize how much this comes from their past. Like, I kind of did mention that. I am going to mention that, but like, people really want to make up for their past a lot of the time. They have it in their minds. They're like, oh, okay, I used to do this thing growing up. I'm no longer going to do that thing, and now I'm going to make up for it, which doesn't always make sense, but I digress. So they're craving normalcy. And the Liberlolz hive mind, the Liberlolz brain rot point of view is normal. So they desperately want to fit in, and that's what they do. Okay, so intimidation. Imagine having grown up in a cult, and then imagine getting out of it, extracting yourself from it, and then imagine having to come up with your own point of view, having to come up, having to formulate, create your own thoughts, really, ponder specific issues on your own by yourself. That's way too intimidating for people who have just been told how to act, told what to do, told what to think their whole lives. So they're like, forget it, I'm just going to conform. I don't think that's a conscious thought on their part, but that's what they end up doing. Okay, so coming up with your own point of view on all these issues is too much for them. So they just skip it. And they're like, I'm a liberal now. So past trauma. Unfortunately, a lot of Mormons are traumatized into behaving certain ways. They are traumatized for for behaving certain ways. They are traumatized for, not being Mormon enough, like all this stupid bullshit that people in cults always do. But they still carry that with them, right? So they want so badly to be normal. They're too intimidated by coming up with their own points of view. And they're also very afraid. They're very afraid to do so because they very likely got punished in the past for having done that. So they don't do it. They're just like, they just hop right into the alphabet mafia. But anyway, also their indoctrination primes them. This is point 4, okay? Their indoctrination primes them for being indoctrinated somewhere else. Doesn't even have to be mainstream liberalism, but that's certainly the easiest one, isn't it? It primes them to just get plopped in. It primes them to be like, oh, okay, I'll do this. Oh, okay, this is a line of thinking that is normal. This is a line of thinking that my friends think. This is a line of thinking that people online think. This is the line of thinking that I see, so I'm going to go with it. Weak. Which leads us right into lack of intellect. And Mormonism, fight me on this. Feel free. Feel the fucking fuck free, okay? Mormonism, what's the word I'm looking for? Mormonism promotes lack of intellect. Mormonism promotes lack of thinking. Mormonism encourages conformity to the point of it stunting your intellect. And I will fight anyone on that. Be my guest. And I'll win. Anyway, also, even if Mormons are educated, right? A lot of them go to Mormon universities. And like, I'm not saying that all of that education is bad quality, but like, given the fact that it's created by a cult and worships a cult, and even if you don't believe, even if you aren't Mormon, you still can go to this university, but you are in fact forced while you're attending this university to adhere to their standards. You are forced to behave in certain ways, because if you don't, then you can get kicked out, right? Say you oh god, I don't even want to give examples, but like, I'm just saying, yes, technically a lot of Mormons are educated, but a lot of them were given a Mormon education. All the Mormons I've talked to, where I've listed any religion other than Mormonism, have been like, oh, I'm this religion. Oh, I'm this religion. They're like, what's that? I don't know what that is. And I'm like, for a group that's supposedly so educated, y'all really make the effort to not tell your kids about any religion other than Mormon. I wonder why that is. But anyway, they have a lack of intellect. And that is also contributing to their intimidation of, not coming up with their own perspective, not even considering thinking about these things. That's why they just become liberal immediately after leaving the church. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people become trans. I'm serious. I've seen a lot of Mormons and people who have left, like really oppressive evangelicalism, IBLP cult. They just like become trans. Again, I think that in their minds, that's them like making up for all the bullshit that they went through growing up. You can't really make up for that kind of thing. Like, you sort of can, but you can't. You can't go back in time and, allow yourself to go to that birthday party, or allow yourself to play with Hot Wheels if you're a girl, or allow yourself to learn to bake despite it being girly, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean. But in their minds, that's what they want to do. Anyway, okay, so we've got craving normalcy, intimidation, past trauma, indoctrination, lack of intellect, And the sixth one is sexism. Mormonism is an overtly sexist religion. Excuse me, it's an overtly sexist cult. They love having women be subordinate to men, and women in that religion love being subordinate to men. Women can't really do anything in the church. They can like work at a church physically. They can be a musician within the church, but any kind of religious position, any of authority within the church, they can't have it. You can be the wife. You can be someone's wife, and yeah, that's a position of, that's a specific position, but it's not a form of religious authority to them. There's a lot of sexism. Only the man can hold the priesthood. Only the man can do this stupid. Let's see if I have anyone around. Oh, I got somebody. What is it called? What is this called? Ooh, here. Ooh, we're so religious. I am the man. Pretend I'm a man right now, because I'm giving this Furby a fucking blessing or whatever the fuck. Only men can do that bullshit. Only men can. It's a very male-centric religion, and therefore, and it's very, very sexist. Obviously, there are very, very strict gender roles that that both men and women are supposed to hold, no matter what. Therefore, immediately going into the alphabet mafia is really not a far cry from Mormonism. It is also a sexist cult. It is also a cult based entirely on sexism and sexist attitudes, and it even has its own stupid fucking jargon like Mormonism does. So it's really, they find it comforting, right? They find it comforting to just jump into this other cult that's pretty similar to their cult. And the last one I'm going to talk about is trading addictions. You got to go somewhere. Where you got to go? We were just gone for like not even 72 hours, but this guy was real sad without us. Anyway, they trade an addiction. You trade, a lot of people do this, tons of people do this. I mean, this is pretty similar to, this is playing into a bunch of the ones that I've listed, but a ton of people who, are like, that was Pirate's camera work. A ton of people who are alcoholic, stop being alcoholic, and then they become addicted to working out. A ton of people who are anything, you name it, I don't fucking care. A lot of people just trade one addiction for the other. They do in fact stop doing one addiction, and then they just start doing another one. They just trade it out. Like at a fucking, I don't know, what do you trade out? Like a library book. What do you trade out? I don't know, I don't care. Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another reason why people who are Mormon and stop being Mormon become liberals, become members of the alphabet mafia. What's up, Sheila? You want to be in my vid? You want to be in my vid? I think she likes the camera. You like the camera, huh, Panda Dog? Yeah. Do you like Mormons? She likes anybody who will pet her. Yeah, so I would say those are the reasons that I could think of immediately why people who are Mormon or formerly Mormon then become liberals. And obviously it's not only Mormons that this happens to. It's other people too. It's other religious people too. And I get it. I talk a lot of shit about all these people, and I do in fact hate Mormonism as a religion, and I do in fact hate the trans cult as a cult. Okay, come on up. But the fact of the matter is that I really can't blame these people that much because of their backgrounds, because of their upbringings, you know. I understand why they're coming to these conclusions and why they're jumping from one to the other, but it's pretty dangerous. And they don't even realize, you know, obviously a lot of people don't realize how sexist the Alphabet Mafia is. They don't realize that it's a sexism worshiping cult. They don't realize that. It's hard to realize, especially if you've been indoctrinated into sexism your whole life, which is most people, but I would say Mormons are exceptionally sexist. But I digress. Well, so are members of the Alphabet Mafia. So are they. That's some sexist bullshit that they clearly get off to. And no one is actually saying that. So that's a problem. But I've said it. So you're welcome.